Hey guys, what's up? Phoenix here, and I'm back again in EFT today with kind of a guide, kind of a bit of a FYI more than anything. So, basically, Tarkov's undergone a major shift in the way that it plays. So, it's become a lot more slower and a lot more, I don't want to say tactical, because it isn't really tactical based at the moment. It's mostly sit in a spot for half an hour and wait. But I digress, and at the end of the day, the game is a lot slower, and you kind of have to wait and anticipate people's movements now. And that's all well and good, but I've noticed over the last couple of days that there's been a few times where I've had my ass absolutely handed to me because somebody was already waiting for me to come out of a wall, bush, whatever. And it is a little suspect at times. Now, I'm not going to deny the fact that there is a hacking problem in the game. In fact, there's quite a large hacking problem in the game. But it may not always be hackers when it seems like you've been killed on a suspect, a suspect kill. When it seems like you've been sat in a bush and somebody's pinged you from 300 meters away, even though you were in dead middle of a bush, it was impossible for them to see you. Or if you were rounding a corner and somebody knew you were there, even though you were on silent. And by that I mean, basically, hit caps lock and you walk as slow as you can. So, sometimes, yes, that's probably will just be people with ESP. It happens more often than people like to admit, more often than Battlestate likes to admit. But there's kind of an almost wall hack built into the game, and a lot of people are using it, either knowingly or unknowingly, just by running the graphics settings. So, if you look over there, something's missing. Oh, it's the entire corrugated iron shed that surrounds the tunnel leading out of single player spawn, and the fucking hallway leading out too. Now, it's hard to kind of properly show off because I'm in a single player game, but you can see it disappear. And not only does the actual shed disappear, but that car does as well. But the major thing that I'm talking about is that you can actually see people going through that doorway. Not only that, but you can see people coming up that ramp. Now, this is kind of the most obvious and easiest way to explain it, but this occurs on multiple different areas, throughout multiple different maps. It happens a lot with bushes, and it happens a lot in the customs dorms, especially on the second floor of the 3-story dorm room. All of the, I guess, clutter throughout the second floor hallway disappears if you're running on LOD Detail 2. So, we jump into the graphics settings, and we have a look at mine. I'm running on LOD Quality 2. I bumped that up to 3, which is kind of what it defaults to. It's there by default. The most you get is a little bit of popping down there, but nothing major. The corrugated iron shed is still there. However, going back down to 2, which is what the game is optimized for, I'm going to point out. This is what Battlestate have optimized the game for. So, while kind of cheaty to run on this, I guess this level of detail quality, it is kind of how it was intended. Obviously, the side effects of not being able to see things wasn't intentional, but it's the way the game was optimized for, so people are going to run it that way, and people are going to have a significant advantage, and it kind of a throwback to the Arma 2 DayZ mod days, where, running with foliage on low meant that most of the foliage didn't spawn. So this is a very similar thing. If you run an LOD detail, or LOD quality rather, 2, things don't actually render until you zoom in, but players will. So if somebody were walking through that door, like I've said, I can see them, and I can anticipate where they're going. So all I have to do is sit up here, not zoomed in, not aimed down sight, wait for somebody to walk through there, bang, I'm already lined up, already ready to go. And like I said, this occurs in a lot of different spots. So if you've been killed and it's relatively suspect, chances are it's probably a hacker. But there's also a possibility it's this. So ultimately, it could be one of two things. And if you aren't playing on LOD2, you are putting yourself at a massive disadvantage. So I highly recommend you lower it down to 2. Everybody else has, it's what the game's optimized for. And you will be at least somewhat on an even playing field. So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something new. If you did, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, queries, doubt, or points, chuck them in the comments below. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Anyway, like I said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.